All right, good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to share this with you, and I had a title for it, but I forgot what it was. It's just things that make it great to be an American, or just great to just be. Period. In general, I was on the bus today, and sitting at the back of the bus, and just really zoned out, listening to my music. And I noticed this young person came to the back and sat, and I didn't even pay attention. Now, the thing about it is that when you're in your own zone and you're not paying attention, you don't realize things. But then I guess the person leaned over to talk on the phone, and it's like my spidey senses went up because I was just like, oh my gosh, this person is like really, really close. And, I'm thinking, well, maybe, there's like a guy sitting on the other seat or something like that. Maybe that's why they're so close. And normally, like for me, the type of person I am, I'll get offended because I'm just like, I need my space. And I think it even goes deeper than that. Maybe, I'm not feeling like 100%, so I don't want anybody like right up on me. But I wasn't offended. And, I was just, at first that's a thought though, that I could possibly have been offended. But the other part of me was just like, wow, I need to be thankful and honored, you know what I'm saying, that a young person would even sit next to me. So that made me feel great. And again, I couldn't hear anything that was going on, but I could see that the person probably needed something to write with because all I could hear was him repeating numbers. So, I said, do you need something to write with? Because I couldn't hear what was going on. And he was like, yeah. And he was so thankful. So that made me feel good, proud. And the smile on his face when I left was it was just awesome. And I think that's the meaning of life in general. All of us, especially women, because it's in our nature, we want to somehow have benefited somebody in some way, meant something to somebody in some way. And it felt good, something small like that I had a pen and that he could actually use it. And to be honest with you, he's young, so just like me, maybe, by the time that I gave it to him, maybe he didn't even need it anymore, but he was trying to write down from memory. But the thing about it is that just to be appreciated, everybody wants to be appreciated. The second thing was, as I was speaking to him, I was going past the probation office. And I have to say, even though I am a person that was falsely accused and convicted by the criminal justice system and whatever else happened after that, I have to say that I'm very thankful because in the deep darkness of this world and all of the negative things that happen and go on, just like I was saying about the church, there are still good people out there. And I'm going to say the majority, oh my gosh, I think there's a shuttle coming. The majority of the people that but he's not coming this way. The majority of the people that, the people that I've come in contact with in the probation office, they have somehow enriched my life. They did not turn out to be complete jerks. They were secure in themselves. I don't remember all the names because I think, I had so much going on in my life that, and that's the other thing, they didn't make it a requirement that I memorize, who they were, where they came from. As long as I showed up to my appointments and, of course I wasn't going to get in any trouble because I didn't do anything to get into any trouble in the first place. I was falsely accused and convicted. But just wonderful. I remember the first one was a young lady, and she was just so cute and so sweet. And I don't know, me even saying this is just truly how I feel, but me even saying that some people in the system may be offended, but it's not to take offense. It's to say that, I am very thankful that there are some people with a human side there. They're human beings, very, very sweet person. When the person that I transferred to way up north, also very sweet person, no nonsense, but very sweet, And then the guy that I transferred to downtown, very nice person, again, no nonsense because you don't want any misunderstandings. But, all these people enriched my life somehow, Even if it was something that I didn't even like, the last office that I went to, I think the guy was just insecure, but he was really just being a you-know-what. So, I don't know, I'm just thankful for my life. I'm thankful for another day, and I remember, I look at different topics because I'm the kind of person, like my mom says in Korean, I don't remember everything because it's been a while since I even spoke to her, but Ongtung Gangtung, Hajina, or something like that. And what she was saying was basically somebody would tell me to do one thing or tell me one thing is right. And it's just like I'm like 100% rooting for the underdog. So I have to prove completely the opposite. And so I had a point, but I forgot the story I was going to tell in relation to that. So I'm always rooting for the underdog. I'm always looking at things analytically, seeing that, is this the only possible solution or the only possible answer, because there's different people with different lifestyles, different backgrounds, and different experiences, so there's got to be more than one type of resolution to resolve something, and just so many beautiful things. I'm so happy to be human. And the reason I even have to say that is because in today's days, people are just so zombied out because, of all the negativity. You're traumatized. And then, all these things that the system puts into people. I don't even want to talk about that. But, just people, all these things that people do, the system does to alter people's mentality, state of being. It feels good to be human and to feel. It feels good to be happy sometimes. It feels good to be sad sometimes. It feels good to cry sometimes. It feels good to be overwhelmed with emotion. It feels good to feel sorrow. It feels good to see something and notice things that are going on around you. That feels good. It feels good to be human. And to be honest with you, the way the system is going, it looks like, they're looking forward to even taking the humanity out of being human, with all these things that they're projecting to do in the future. But it's like whenever, being a woman, whenever you get a chance to purely enjoy something, it almost seems like, just like when I get a hang of this, something else comes along, So I'm enjoying. That's why you have to enjoy the moment, because the next one is not promised. It's not promised to be exactly the same, There are a lot of things that are done stealthily, that you don't even know about. But just enjoy. And, the joy of being sad. I was on the bus, and, the first bus that I took, there was a young Caucasian boy. Young, everybody young. When I say young, I mean anywhere from like 18 to 24, 25. But young Caucasian boy. And I felt bad because he started talking on the phone, and he was saying how somebody put him out of the car on Hollandale Beach Boulevard. And I'm just like, and it made me feel bad because first, he's young. Second, he trusted somebody to get him to his destination. You know what I'm saying? And they did not. And it was a female. He was like, oh, she told me to get out. And from his personality, I didn't see anything that would show that he was being angry, argumentative, unless he had a personal relationship with this female and maybe, she was upset about something. But, he was explaining to whoever the person was on the phone that the documents that he needed, he didn't have because they were in the car. Why were they in the car? The person asked, I guess, and he was just like, because she told me to get out, and she drove off. And I'm just like, I felt so bad because I was thinking to myself, if I had a vehicle, if I was that person responsible for getting him from point A to point B, I would have got him to point B, or at least made sure he had everything. You know what I'm saying? That's why you never put you can never put your trust all in somebody else's hands. You always do as much as you can for yourself as you can. So, but anyhow, all good things, positive things. Oh, something weird that happened, Walgreens. And this is, people act the way that they act for a reason. It's experiences they've had, and, depending on the amount of support that they had during those experiences, it determines how well that person bounces back. So, I was in Walgreens this morning, and I'm feeling all right today. And I didn't think about it. Everything about it was mostly Spanish, and I was getting in line behind whoever. And so I happened to look up, and like I said, the Cuban men, I don't know, but I happened to look up, and the guy like blew a kiss at me, and I'm like, okay, so I'm not gonna be rude. So I'm just like, okay, nodded my head. And then he goes into this thing, oh, Bonita, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, And it's no secret. I think the white Cuban guys in South Florida, especially the older ones, probably the younger ones too, I don't know. But they really like brown, black women. Really, really, really like them. Like, beyond a fault. So to a fault. So I'm like, really, it was nothing but a compliment. But because of my experience with those types of people and how I initially respond, like previously when I had someone interact with me that way, the way that I responded was I was very open and welcoming, because it was welcomed, because if you are a person that is by yourself, that doesn't have family and friends, and you enjoy a loving family environment, you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm finally being accepted, this culture accepts me, and it's just, it felt good, but you realize that it's not what it seems. But this person actually started off the bat with blowing a kiss, and I'm like, oh my gosh, really? And I stiffened because, one, we're in a store, and so for me to show how negatively it affected me would be not right. But anyway, long story short, I felt very uncomfortable. Everybody else could see it, and I was just like, okay, so whatever compliment he gave me, it kind of reversed it because of my reaction to it, or it probably made me not what he thought I was, which may be true, but But anyways, God bless. Bye.